Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming along to this morning's gentle exercise class with myself, Lindy, and Galston Estate Trust on the Isle of Lewis. The idea is that we just want to give you an opportunity to do some gentle exercise at home that you might have been doing a session with ourselves on a weekly basis anyway. Before we get started, I want to just go through a couple of golden rules with you in regards to exercising at any kind of class, regardless of whether it's online or it's a physical class. Please make sure that if you've got any health conditions, that you've sought the advice of your doctor to make sure that you are safe to exercise. During the session at any point, if you feel that you're in any kind of pain or discomfort, please stop and have a rest. If you need any advice on exercising, then get in touch with your GP and get their advice on whether it's safe for you to exercise or not. Today's very, very gentle. It can be done standing or seated the whole way through, from the warm-up right through to the stretches at the end, and we'll do some relaxation at the end as well. So to start with, what I would like us to do is do self-massage, which just starts to kind of warm up our muscles, and it's a really nice thing to think about doing that you can do at any point as well. So we start with our heads and we gently massage our head, just using our fingers right round our head. And then over to our face. And just do this in any way that's comfortable for you. For some people, this isn't something that they enjoy doing. For others, they love doing it. So just do it in whatever way you prefer. Once you've done your face, if you come round to the base of your neck, massage your neck. And then once you've got to that stage, you're going to pick a side, left or right, and then just start massaging in your shoulders. And coming all the way down your arms. So come down the front of your arms first. And onto your hands. And then rub your hands together and come up the inside of your arm. And then when you get up to your shoulder, if you just rub gently across your collarbone and then start on the opposite side. So massaging the back of your shoulder. And then down the front of your arms. Front of your hands, then gently rub your hands together and come up the inside of your arm. Okay, right, just release that out and then come to the back, just however high up you can, and then just massage your back. And gently come down as you're doing that to your hips. And again, once you get to your hips, pick a side. Now, try and give yourself your feet hip width apart and soften your knees for this bit. And if you need to, just give yourself a slightly better centre of gravity, widen up those legs, keep the back leg bent, and then go down the front leg. Now, if your balance isn't too great, then have a seat doing this, and you're going to go down the front leg, just the way that same way as we've done with the arms, down the outside to start with, gently massaging that until we get to our foot. Massage the foot, come into the instep, and then up the inside of your thigh, all the way up. Now you can't go on doing that. I'm going to make sure we've got some music. Keep doing that. Lovely. And then move on to the other leg. Okay, move on to the other leg. Make sure that back leg's soft. Right down across your foot to the instep, and then up the inside of your foot, inside of your leg. And back. Lovely. Okay. So now we're into the warm-up section. I want you to be quite thoughtful of your core and your posture here. So feet hip width apart, knees slightly bent. And if you can just tilt your hips forward, imagine that you have a string from your tummy button coming right through your spine, and you're going to pull that in. Okay? Relax those shoulders back. So roll them back and relax them. A big breath in and a breath out. Lovely. Okay. So you're going to slightly look up to the ceiling and then down. So this section of warm-up's about mobility and just warming yourself up slightly. This section's working on your neck. So if you've got any injuries in your neck, any mobility issues, please make sure that you only do what is comfortable. Don't want you in any pain when you're doing this. Okay, we're going to look to the side. Very gently. Back to the centre. And to the side. All the while thinking very much about this core and this posture. Lovely, folks. That's fab. Okay, we're going to start to warm up and mobilise our shoulders. So it's just a shoulder shrug on one side to start with. If you were with us last week, you'll remember that there are 3 levels to this one. I want you to warm it up slightly to start with, and then take it from there to the level that you are comfortable with. Any crunches, any clicks, any pops, any discomfort, I want you to bring it back to just this. Bearing in mind, you're not in the class, so I can't see you. So I want you to think very much about making sure that what you're doing in a safe manner so that you're getting the most benefit from it and you're not hurting yourself. Okay, when you're ready, if you're ready, then just bringing your hand up to your shoulder. And then once again, if you're ready, full arm shoulder circles. Okay, and we're going to go on to the other side now. Exactly the same. Small circles with just a shrug at the moment. For many of us, that will be all that we're doing. Lovely. Let's keep that going. Let's warm up these shoulders and improve the mobility before we go on to the main section. Okay, and if you're ready, if you want to, hand on the shoulder. And you know what I'm going to say? Remember that core, folks. If you keep that core engaged throughout your session, you're going to get a massive benefit even just from doing that. And if you're ready, if you want to, full circles with a long straight arm. That's it. Lovely. Okay. Bring these hands, elbows bent, arms up. Clench your fists tight. And open up your hands. And clench your fists. And open up your hands. And keep doing that nice and fast. It's an area that we forget that we should keep mobile is our hands. We're using them to type, to write, to knit, to cook. And we need to look after them as well. Okay. So just roll your fingers. And roll your wrists. In the other direction. Lovely. Okay. Bring your hands to your hips. Soft knees. And then let's mobilize up these hips. Okay. Now remember, you're engaging that core throughout. You've got that string at your back if you need to. Give it a pull so that you're pulling in that core and engaging it. And go to the other side. This isn't a massive movement. It can be really, really small. Okay. And if you want, if you can do a figure of 8. Lovely. Okay. If you just rock from side to side. And come up onto the toe when you're doing it. If you can, bring your foot up. Your hamstring curl, have the couch behind them. Okay, and then back down to your toe. Keep your foot on the ground. Now what we're going to do is stretch out these feet. Really, really push down to stretch out these feet. I always find this quite a nice one. I like the feeling of just releasing in my feet. Lovely. Okay, we're all feeling a bit warmer. Things feeling as if they're a wee bit more mobile. We're going to start off gently, not exactly the same sequence of movements as we done last week. There will be the same movements, however at the end we're going to add some stretches in this time as well. So we're going to start off with heaven and earth. And this is a lovely exercise, I feel, for your shoulders and the top of your back. You'll really feel it there, and again on your core as well. So you're going to have a nice comfortable stance, feet hip width apart, knees soft, okay, core engaged. If you're sitting doing this, you're sitting at the edge of your seat. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor, core engaged. Remember, shoulders back and relaxed. And to start with, I want you to start focusing on your breath. So one big deep breath in through your nose that fills both your chest and your stomach. You should be able to feel them both rising and falling with this breath. So breathing in. And then out again. Breathing in again. And out. Okay. So heaven and earth, you're going to start with your hands at your hips. Okay, now the way that I teach this is I tell you to keep your fingers on your hips when you're doing this so that your movement doesn't become too large and exaggerated. So you're rolling your shoulders back and tracing a circle with your thumbs on your hips. What I do want you to exaggerate is that squeezing of your shoulder blades so that you get that benefit of squeezing your shoulder blades right back, and you'll feel that exercise and that movement in your shoulders. If you're sitting doing this, as I said, on the edge of your seat, now you're not necessarily tracing those circles on your hips, but it's going to be on your thighs and you're going to get exactly the same benefit. Really want you to concentrate on squeezing and then engaging that core, folks. Okay, I want you to keep doing that. Breathing in and out. In and out. In when you're coming round and squeezing those shoulder blades together, and out when you come back down and round. If you feel you want to make that movement a bit larger, you want to bring that up to your chest. So the movement is here and back down. So you can see it's quite Tai Chi, like bringing your movement up and you're keeping it flowing so that your hands don't really stop and your arms are soft and relaxed when you're doing it, other than that movement in your shoulders. So you're squeezing back and down, back and down. Engage in that core all the while, and those knees soft. And if you want to make it a bit harder again, you're going to bring your arms up to shoulder height and down. So you're squeezing those shoulders back and down. Okay, let's keep doing that one. And let's bring it back down just to the chest height. Lovely, folks. And then back down again, just to hip height. Really squeeze those shoulders back. This is one of my favourites. I really like the benefit in your shoulders that you get from this one. You can really feel it. Okay, shake it all out. Oh. And we're going to do butterfly hands now. This might have been the one that confused you all last week. So with this one, our hands are together. If you can imagine, there's a nail through both of your wrists, holding them together, and that's the only way that you can move. So you're moving round, round. So your hands start off facing the floor and between your legs, and when you bring them up and round, they're then your palms are facing your face. So if you do that for a couple of times for me, make sure you're getting that movement right. It's exactly the same movement if you're seated. Remember that you're at the edge of your seat. Your feet are flat on the floor. And you're engaged in that core. And the movement is exactly the same as what you've been doing. You're bringing your hands up to your face, and once you get to your face, you're bringing your arms round and then back down to where you started. And the way that your breath is for this one is that you're breathing in on the way up and out, and then out on the way down and back. So if you practice that, if you're standing up, remember, feet hip width apart, knees bent slightly, core engaged, shoulders back and relaxed, hands in and up to your face, round and back. Okay, so you're breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay, once you feel you've got this, just to make this slightly more complicated, I want you to swap the leading arm over each time you come back. So right over left, and then left over right. I want a nice strong breath in, and out. That's it. Enjoy those big deep breaths in and out, filling your lungs with oxygen and relaxing you at the same time. Lovely, folks, a couple more of these. And your last one. Okay. Right, we're going to do opening and closing the gates. So to start with, we're going to do this one seated. If you already know how to do it and you want to do it standing or seated, if you want to start doing the movement. For those that don't know, we're going to show you both versions here. Okay, so we start with opening the gates. So this is a hip opening exercise, just to give you that bit more mobility in your hips. Same as always, your feet are hip width apart, your core is engaged and your shoulders are back and relaxed. Your hands are on your knees and you're just going to start to rock on your seat bones in your chair. Now for some of us, this is as far as we get with this one. There's a fair bit of twisting in it. Okay, when you feel comfortable with that, you're going to start moving your hands back and forward on your thighs as you're rocking. So the side that you're leaning into, the opposite hand is coming up to your hip. And then the next stage on this is to open that hip up. And it's just a small movement, bringing that knee out and the foot up and then back. And then the same on this side. I'm getting it wrong there. Okay. Okay, if you want to do it seated, you keep sitting and doing that movement. For those of you that don't know how to do it and we're doing it standing, you're going to just start rocking. Okay, so your stance is a bit wider than this. Probably out just past your shoulders. Okay. Come down into a very slight squat. Now, for some of you, that squat is going to be here. For others, it's a wee bit further down. Bear in mind, your core has to be really engaged when you're doing this. We don't want to see you squatting like this. We want to see you up. That's it. And you're going to rock back and forth. Okay. Now the opening section is when you bring your foot up. You bring it back down, turn, and up. Now that might be as far as you go. If the movement's there and the coordination's there, you can bring your arms round. Now I want you to keep your arms low, so if they come away out here, you're too far. Keep them low. So breathing in. In. And out. In. Okay. Just keep up with that movement. Enjoy those breaths. And last one. And then just relax. Shake these legs out. And we're going to close the gates now. If you're doing it from seated, bottom on the edge of the seat, feet just wider than hip width apart. If you already know what you're doing, I want you to just carry on doing this whilst I'm doing the demo for those that don't. Engage your core and rock on your seat bones. And then once again, start to move your hands back and forward. Okay, and then this is the movement here. So the knees are just coming in. That's it. So you keep doing that. If we're going to do it standing, feet just past shoulder width apart. The same idea. We're doing this small squat. Okay. Keep that core engaged. Those shoulders back and relaxed. And rock from side to side. The same as with the seated. You're going to bring your foot in and back. In, back. And the arms can go like this. That's it. Lovely. Always making you sure you come back to the centre before you go back over to the other side. So you're always coming back down and into that squat. So you'll get this in your hips. You see my knee went there. And you'll get this on your quadriceps and on your backside when you're doing it. That's it. Okay. You keep going with that. One more. And shake it out for me. Lovely. Okay. We are going to do wind on water. Lots of people like this one. So your stance Or if you're sitting, your feet are hip width apart. Engage your core. And I want you to imagine that you have a tennis ball just here. A small golden ball just here in your hands. And as you breathe in, the ball's going to inflate. So if you breathe in, just ever so slightly going to inflate and out. Breathe in and out. And you're going to breathe in deeper and that ball's going to inflate slightly more. And again. And you're going to breathe in deeper again, and that ball's going to get bigger again. And I don't want to drop the ball, so my hands are going to stay soft. And imagining that ball. Bring those arms out as big as you can without dropping that ball. Breathing in. Breathing in. Don't forget to engage your core. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Lovely. Okay, bring that movement smaller again. Until we're back to our tennis ball sized ball. Okay, let it go. That's it. Lovely. Excellent. So the next exercise that I want to show you is called Chi Shower. Again, it can be done seated or standing, and we tend to demonstrate it in a few different sections. If you're seated, we're going to start with the seated version first. Feet hip width apart, core engaged, and our hands are going to be palms facing our tummies. As we breathe in, we're going to bring our hands up and over our heads, very, very close to our heads, and finishing just here at our shoulders. When we breathe in, bringing these hands round till they get to your shoulders. Now you're going to feel that in the back of your arms and your shoulders. From here, as you breathe in, and then breathe out, you're going to bring these arms down to your hips. From here, as you breathe in and then out, your hands are going to come down to your ankles, round in front and up the inside of your thighs till they come back to your stomach. So that's the seated version. The standing version, feet a wee bit wider than hip width apart, core engaged as always and knees soft. Same hand movement, so your hands start facing your tummy as you breathe in. Bring your hands round, back of your head to your ears. You breathe in. Breathe out again, bring these hands to your hips. So that movement there, you'll feel that a bit like heaven and earth, where you were squeezing your shoulder blades together. From here, it's a squat. Down only as far as you can, bringing your hands to the inside and up to your tummy. We'll try that one again. So breathe in. Breathe out as you bring your hands to your hips. Breathing in. Come down to your squat. And out as you come up. Okay, I'm going to show you that from this side here. Okay, so you are breathing in as your hands come up and round to your ears. Breathing out to your hips and down only as far as you can comfortably go. Hands to the inside and back up to your tummy. Okay, I want you to keep doing that. We're going to do a couple seated. Breathing in. And out, down to your hips. Breathing in, down to your ankles, and round and back to your tummy. You might not all get that far. If you can only get here, that's fine as well. It's just whatever is comfortable will still get you a benefit. Okay, breathing in. Out as you come down. Right, try and come right the way down. And breathing back in. Okay, once more here, seated, and then I'll do another couple of standing. Right, folks, you keep going with whatever version you want to, whether it's seated or whether it's standing. Really concentrate on each part of that move and bringing your breath into it. And remember, you're engaging your core all the way through. Couple more from you all. And your last one, folks. Lovely. Right, shake everything out. And we're going to finish off this section with yin and yang. We started it off with yin and yang last week, and we're going to finish it with yin and yang. So, standing, seated, feet hip width apart. It's this posture that I keep talking about throughout. Okay, engage that core, shoulders back and relaxed. And you're going to start off with your hands facing your tummy. And we're going to do yin to start with. So as you breathe in, you're bringing these hands up in front of your face and round and back. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. In and out. Now remember, if you're seated when you're doing this, you are sitting at the edge of that seat. Your feet are hip width apart, the same as if you were standing, and your core is engaged. Breathing in and out. Okay, I want you to keep doing that, folks. Get those breaths nice and deep. Get that movement so it's flowing nicely. Keep going with that. And a couple more, folks. Last one. Lovely. So what we're going to do is just the opposite. We're going to do yang now. Same posture, whether you're seated or standing. Hands are starting at the same place, and we're just going the opposite way. So our hands are coming out, and then back and down and past our face to where they started. So you're breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Exactly the same if you're seated or you're standing. And let's get this flowing nicely. Concentrate on that breathing. Keep going with that. It's lovely. And your last couple for me. And your last one. Lovely. Fabulous. Right, we're going to shake things out. We're going to do some stretches just to ease off these muscles. And again, you can do them seated or standing. So the first we're going to do, again, if you're sitting, I want you to sit at the edge of your chair with your feet hip width apart. And we're going to stretch off the back of our arms or triceps here. So you grab onto your elbow and then just pull it down. Just however far you can get it. If you're standing, remember, keep that core engaged. And keep those nice deep breaths going. Okay, release those hands up to the ceiling. And then do the opposite side for me. Feel that stretch up the back of your arm. Okay, bring these arms out. And together for me. Clasp your hands. And then just roll round off your back. Really bring that, squeeze that stomach in, pull that core in. Get that benefit along the back of your shoulders. And relax. All the way around. Clasp your hands behind your back if you can. If not, just have the hands behind your back. If you can, clasp them and squeeze your shoulder blades together for me. And relax. Okay, shake that off. Lovely. Now, if you've got a chair, if you need one, or something that you can hold on to, I want you to hold on to it. If not, bring your knees together. If you hold on to your ear, sometimes that's a good one for balance. And we're going to stretch off these big thigh muscles, your quadricep muscles. The supporting knee should always be soft. That helps with your balance as well. Holding on to a chair. If you're doing this one seated, it's quite difficult. So you're just going to bring your leg up. Okay, and swap over to the other side for me. Feel that stretch along your quadricep. Lovely. Right. We've done our quadriceps. We need to do our hamstrings along the back. If you're seated, bring one foot out in front and lift your toe. If you're standing, slightly bend. Straighten up one leg. And either have the toe on the ground, or if you want something stronger, lift your toe up. So same with that seated. Okay, and swap it over for me, folks. Oh, okay. Seated or standing. Feet hip width apart. We'll bring one arm up and then just slightly bend over to the side and feel that stretch all the way over your side. Pulling in your core as you're doing this. And then swap over to the other side. Okay. If you are seated on this one, bring your feet together. Toes up. Arms up. Just look up to the sky for me. If you are standing, feet slightly together. This is called mountain pose in yoga, where you're standing like this, and then you're going to bring your arms up, and you're looking up. This is fallen angel. If you lift your feet up, only if you can. There's a wee bit of balance in this one. Pull that core in. That's it. Look up. Concentrate on your breathing. And relax, folks. Okay, I want you to get comfortable. Find yourself somewhere comfortable to sit. And we are going to do our relaxation section. So if you want, you can close your eyes. And I want you to start thinking about deepening your breaths. Really concentrating on your breathing. So breathing in through your nose. Feeling your chest and your stomach rise. And then letting that breath go. Just feeling that rise and fall of your inhaling and your exhaling. Just let your mind float through the different thoughts that you have, let them go, and really concentrate on your breathing and enjoy this wee section to help you just relax a wee bit. Breathing in and out. Okay, I would like you to do 7 deep breaths in, and I'll count with you. 7 breaths in and out, just to really deepen that breath and let you concentrate on it. So breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in, and out. Number 4. 5 in, and out. 6 in, and out. 7 in, and out. Okay, let's try that again. Really nice, big, deep breaths in. And out. In. And out. In. And out. 2 more. And your last one in. And out. Just enjoy that. And when you're ready, Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Just start to move your body about a wee bit. Bring your self back. And take a big deep breath in and out. Breath in. Bring your arms round and out. Breath in. Bring these hands together. Well done, everybody. Thanks so much for joining in. This stays on our channel along with all our gentle exercise sessions so that you can dip in and out of it when you want. I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any feedback, feel free to get back to us on any of our social media platforms, including this. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want notifications of any of the things that we're doing on our YouTube channel, from gentle exercise to BookBug and Storytime. And thanks very much for coming along, and we'll see you next week. Cheerio!